Hi, welcome to the Shelly Studio. How's everyone doing today? Today I am going to create some, well, this is my inspired by segment. And I was watching YouTube, as I always do, and I came across, her name's Michelle Bukowski, and her YouTube channel is Michelle Bukowski Art, and she was doing a video where she's making greeting cards using old book pages. And so I was inspired by her. She did some funky flowers out of with the book pages, so I thought I would give it a try. I watched the video once and then I'm like, okay, the first thing she did was put gesso on the book pages. So I started doing it with a paintbrush, and then I'm like, I think she used something else. So then I noticed she used a catalyst tool, so I grabbed a card and did the last couple, the catalyst tool with the card, just to give that a try. Works fine either way. Then she had some inks, and I have some really old inks. And if you do this, you want a lot of pages prepped, because this is kind of a little bit of a messy process, but you create a lot of pages doing this, especially with inks and stuff, because you know you're putting it on one, mushing it together with the other. I wanted it to more cover the page. I didn't want the I don't mind the unevenness, but I wanted at least, most of the page covered. I do end up cutting these down, so I think it loses a lot of the variety in there. I'll have to do them again sometime, maybe with a different design on top. So I chose it was yellow ochre, and it was some brown color, and then I decided to go with some green colors for the last couple pages, just to have a little bit of variety in there. And I couldn't tell you what greens these are. And they're so old. Like the droppers, I don't think the droppers ever really worked on these inks. So just have to pour them out. And make sure you have a place to set those aside to dry, because, yeah, they need some drying. So once they're dry, I'm going to cut them down to a size that I want to use. Like if you wanted to do greeting cards, I decided these could be like journaling cards. But if you wanted to do greeting cards, you determine what size you want them to be and just cut them down to that size. Now here I am using an Inktense pencil in black. I believe I used black. I think that's what she used as well. She used the Inktense because once you get water on there, it activates it and it can be permanent. As long as it's gotten wet, it's permanent. There are a few spots that aren't permanent because I don't think I get everything perfectly wet. But these are just flower drawings out of my head. They're similar to what she did. But yeah, they're such simple flower patterns. And I think it turns out really cute. But I'm just going and drawing the flowers on each one of those. I'm trying to make them, I'm doing 3 on each one, but trying to make them a little bit different positioning and stuff, just to make it interesting. And yeah, trying to make the flowers look like one's looking away, one's looking forward, one's not quite grown up yet. And I didn't do any leaves on them, but you could totally do leaf shapes on there if you wanted to. could get more elaborate. I like the simplicity of this one. I really like how this turns out. And I've done this before with my Stabilo All pencil, but I think the Inktense is a better way to go because of the permanence of it once you're done with it. And the Stabilo, it can re-wet and redissolve and eventually disappear. Like, you know, if you don't put fixative or something over the top. And there's my last little one that didn't get as much color as the rest, but that's okay. So once you've done that, now you're going to take a wet brush and you're just going to go around the lines that you've drawn with the wet brush to activate the Inktense. And so after I do this, we're going to put some paint in the petals. And if you wanted it to be really gray and blendy, you might want to do that sooner rather than waiting until you've done the whole stack. But I just went ahead and did the whole stack. And it has a little bit of gray around the edges, which I think is fine. But it depends on what kind of effect you want to have, I think. Sorry for the clearing of the throat. Still getting over a cold. If you've been watching my videos, you know. I've been kind of doing these video recordings in batches, so they're going to come out a little further apart than I'm recording them because I'm going to be gone on a trip, which I'm very excited. In fact, I don't know, I haven't figured out what days these will come out. I may or may not be gone. But if you have any questions or want to leave a comment, I will be checking my comments and I will reply if I can. The link to Michelle's YouTube video will be in the description box below so that you can have that and you can see her original idea. Her flowers are a little bit more scribbly than mine. And I think you could do any kind of flower style you wanted to. Daisies would be cute, or sunflower would be cute. I actually do like the yellowish color background the best, I think, out of the two colors. So here I'm just taking a titanium white and filling in the flowers, trying not to cover up the black, keeping the outlines. And they're a little bit wet, so you get a little bit of the smearing, which is intentional. Otherwise, you'd want to wait till they were completely dry. And I didn't. I just started in on them. See, I'm already liking them with just the white on there. And you could leave them white. I didn't leave them white, but I like that. When in Michelle's video, she used Posca paint pens to create the color. But I have a very limited palette, limited number of colors for my Poscas, and they're not fine tip. They're the medium tip, I think. They're considered medium tip bullet. So they were a little thick, I thought, for coloring the flowers. So what I actually have is Faber-Castell Pitt Artist Pens, and they go on the paint just fine, and they blend a little bit, so you can do a little blending with them too. Where she left hers as just lines, I smeared mine with the finger, you'll see, and blend them just a little bit. I think that's the last one I show. I think I cut here in a second to where they're all done, because I mean, you've seen two, I figured you got the idea, right? So here I am going back in with the black Posca to put the little black center back into the flowers. I forgot I did that part. Just adding to the centers of those flowers. Well, and the base of the petals, I guess. Yeah, her coloring on the inside is a lot more scribbly than, well, I mean, mine's scribbly, but hers is like a loose scribble in the color department. So I found a variety of my pip pens so that I could do a bunch of different colors. And yeah, I just put it in there and blend a little bit with my finger, not too much. I still keep it a little scribbly. And I think I do one with the blue pen, and I think that one's my favorite. Of course, I like blue. And sorry about the messiness of my desk. You can see all the blue paints on the right-hand side. I was still doing my 100-day project, and I was in the blues. So that sits there the whole time until I'm done with the blues. But I wanted a break from that. And I saw this video, and I'm like, I want to try that. So that's what I'm doing. And I just left those colors sitting there. As I'm doing the voiceover, I have green to the right of me now. I'm in the green stage now. But yeah, I thought too these would make cute journaling cards, so I'm going to back them onto some paper. I could have used thicker, but I had some it's not craft, it's called toned tan sketchbook paper. And so it's not real thick, but when you glue the two together, it'll be thick enough, I think. Apparently I felt that orange one needed a little bit more color. I'm just adding, it's actually a little bit lighter orange I'm adding to that one. All right, so we've got them all done, and I cut out my toned tan paper, and I decided, since I'm thinking journaling cards, I mean, one of them might end up on the front of a greeting card, because I made quite a few, and I don't really build journals much, but I'm really liking that. And I'm just gonna, oh yeah, here I'm pulling out my, I think it's Vintage Photo. I'm gonna edge around just to add a little bit more. I think that helps, because of the color of the tan paper. So a little bit of brown on this, and then a little bit of brown on that paper will help it stand out a little bit, I think. I'm really sorry about the coughing. I'll try to not do that. Yeah, I'm just gluing them on with my Yoo-Hoo glue stick. I like my Yoo-Hoo glue stick. And then trying to center as best I can. And of course, I'm going to do it to all of them. I think I show you one more. I'm going to do that one, and I use, to distress the edges, I use, I think that's cracked pistachio is the color. But you don't have to ink them if you don't want to. You don't have to do anything you don't want to. Make it your own. you know, use what you have, whatever you've got, if you want to make some of these. I think they're going to be cute little journaling cards. I even did the green color around the toned tan. And you probably can't tell on screen, but I can tell in person. I can see a little bit of green around the edges. So once I glue these on, I decided, well, I was thinking it would be fun to put some labels on them. So I pull out a few of my homemade labels, but I don't end up sticking any on because I feel like the numbers are really big. I mean, they'd work for these. They're big, big cards, big flowers. But you'll see me here just set it on there for a minute. Not bad, right? I mean, that could be cute. But anyways, that is it. Make sure if you liked this video, you check out Michelle's channel. Her link will be in the description box below. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have an awesome day.